I'm following your channel, your media, your website, your YouTube, everything that you publish, and it's very helpful for every photographer that wants to improve. So thanks for that. Thanks for accepting the invitation and for being here on the channel. First of all, I want to listen from you an introduction about what you are doing and about your channel, and then we will go to the actual questions that I wanted to ask you.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate everything you said, and I appreciate the opportunity to be part of your channel. So thank you very much for that. My channel is and always has been about trying to help other photographers experience the same joy that photography is giving me through educating them, through helping them become better photographers so they can create the kind of images they want to create. That brings me a ton of joy. It helps make me a better photographer, and it puts a lot of good out into the world by helping other people. So that's kind of the theory behind my channel.
And it seems that you just answered my question. It would be like, what was the reason that urged you to create a channel like that in YouTube, a how-to tutorial channel that you help photographers? So you just answered the first question, that you are enjoying doing that and enjoying helping people becoming better photographers, right?
Yeah.
The objective and expectations at the beginning, or what were the expectations?
I basically had zero expectations at the beginning. What I tried to do at the very beginning of my channel was actually, I was trying to get people to subscribe to my email list for a blog that I had back then. And then I was writing articles. I wasn't making videos as my main thing. But then I thought, you know what if I made like a short series of videos to teach people the fundamentals of photography, and I use that as like the free giveaway for my email list. And so I made these videos, but my blog wasn't very good at the time, so I didn't have a lot of people coming to it anyway, which means I didn't have people subscribing to my mailing list also. And those videos just kind of sat unlisted on my channel for quite a while I thought that was the idea of what would work. And then I had a friend ask me a question. It was, should I buy this camera or that camera? I think it was the D3200 or the D7000. And I told him what I thought. And then I'm like, he asked me that question. Maybe other people have that question. I'm going to make a video about this. So I made that video, put it on my channel. Again, I basically had no expectations. I was just like, let's see what happens. And nothing happened for 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 months. And then it went through December and into January of the following year. And this was like 2010, 11, somewhere around there. And all of a sudden, I open up my email and I'm getting like 10s, 20s, hundreds of emails that people are subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm like, what? And that was when I realized, hey, I could maybe do something with this. And that's when I started making the videos that led to where I am today, like trying to make these videos to help people grow as photographers.
And what keeps you excited and continue doing this?
It is two things. One of which I already mentioned. It's that it pushes me to be a better photographer, because if I'm going to be educating people about something, I better know what I'm talking about. So I need to keep on top of my game to make sure that I'm giving the best information to people possible, the best tutorials, the simplest to understand, the easiest to understand. And then the other thing is seeing people excited about their photography. So when I get tagged in a post on Instagram where somebody says, I've been watching these amazing videos from, Spyros, and he's helped me so much, and I'm so proud of this photo, like that just makes my heart swell, because, it feels good to know that I had a positive affect on somebody's life.
That's amazing. Yes, indeed. Yeah. And you make the difference with the content that you put every, I don't know how frequently now you post.
I'm currently posting Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay. So on Tuesday, I do a video that is focused on the technical aspects of photography, or a regular photography tutorial, as it were. And Thursdays, I'm focusing on editing and post-processing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, excellent. So I think we already mentioned the name of the channel, right?
Yeah, it's just my name, Spyros Heniadis, and if you
Yeah,
Google
and
that,
also you have a website, so please, if you go ahead and also tell us about your website.
oh yeah, my website is selfhelpphotographer.com. That was actually the channel name back when I started it. And sometimes I kind of wish I hadn't chosen that name, but whatever, it is what it is. So that's the website address. And there you can find all of my video tutorials are there as well, as well as a bunch of different resources. I have a lot of free reference PDFs that people can get from the videos that I've made. And then I do have several courses, photography video courses that I do offer for sale that you can find on the website as well.
Excellent. And do you think that someone that follows your media and your website can learn everything about photography, or they will require some kind of more in-depth practice or some other material that they might have to find?
Um, it's a little bit yes and a little bit no. It's photography is a kind of an ongoing learning process anyway. So I've tried to focus in my courses and in my content on giving people the foundational knowledge that they need to take their photography wherever they want to go. I feel like if they get my courses or just watch like all of my videos, my courses are obviously going to be a more concise version of it, but if they watch my videos or get one of my courses, they are going to take a leap in their photography because it's going to help them understand the core principles of photography.
Great. Yes, personally, I try to watch as much as possible. And to be honest, I was helped a lot in the beginning. And also by seeing new content coming from you, it's very refreshing to remember the fundamentals and more advanced things, especially with the flash photography that I think for the most part, photographers should know how to save the light for the subject that he's lighting, whatever subject this could be.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally got a lot of help in the beginning, especially, but also by watching the new content that you put regularly. I think I'm becoming better and better, and all of us. So we really appreciate what you are doing.
Well,
And
thank you.
I'm very curious to ask you about the time that you spent actually to put together all this material for us. And I mean, you definitely have a plan on your mind to make it helpful, but I just want to see how you organize the whole idea of creating a video and then recording and presenting as you do.
It's certainly a lot of work. I spend, I mean, producing 2 videos a week right now. I'm spending. You can kind of think of it as like a full-time job. I mean, it is my job. And when I'm approaching a video, the first thing I try to identify is, what is a particular topic that I can talk about and share my angle on. And once I've identified that topic, then I sit back and I think about, okay, what's the most important thing people need to know about this, and how can I break that down into its easiest and most understandable form? And one of the things that I think has benefited me greatly in doing this is that whenever I approach making a video, I approach it with the idea in mind that the person that I'm talking to knows nothing about photography. And that's not meant to be insulting to anybody, but rather it's to help me remember that I cannot take my knowledge for granted. Because if I approach somebody that doesn't know anything about photography and I'm going to talk to them about, say, shallow depth of field, and they want to know how to get that bokeh, right? Because everybody wants the bokeh. I could walk up to them and say, well, yeah, all you got to do is, set your aperture to f2.8 and get your camera as close as possible and take the picture. And they're going to go, what's the aperture? What's f2.8? How close can I get? Those are all questions that they're going to have that I know the answer to because I've done it all and I've learned this already where they haven't had a chance to learn it yet. So with that in mind, I'll write a script or I might just use an outline depending upon the type of video. And once I have that prepped, I'll record that video. that can take any, if I write a script, I might spend 2-3 hours on a script. And then with the script written, recording usually is lickety split because all of the work was front loaded into the script writing. But if it's a bullet pointed outline, then it might take me an hour or so to get a good recording of everything. Once I have it recorded, I need to create any B-roll assets that I might need. So maybe it's drawing diagrams. I don't know if you watched one of my recent videos, but I actually made a video on shallow depth of field, and I drew the diagrams deliberately because I knew they were going to look terrible, and I thought people would get a laugh from my terrible drawing skills, which they did. Several people messaged me about how funny they thought it was. So I create those assets, and then it's editing. And once you edit the video, that can take, an hour, 2 or more. In total, I always tell people who are thinking about making video, and you've got your own channel, so I'm sure you have an understanding of this, especially in the beginning, basically budget about an hour's worth of time for every minute of video you're going to produce. So if it's going to be a 5-minute video, you're probably going to spend 5 hours from inception through the final export of that video, doing all of the things that need to be done to produce it. It doesn't take me that long.
Amount of time, really.
It is, yeah.
Really, I didn't expect that it would be so long. Like, wow.
Yeah, it takes a tremendous amount of time, and I'm more efficient now. So it doesn't take, like, a 5-minute video doesn't take me 5 hours, but it still takes me hours to produce, just because no matter how you slice it, video is a lot of work. And the other thing people don't think about is we're talking about, producing a video for YouTube, which means now you have to do all of the things to distribute that video. And that's another several, hour, 2 or more of work, because you have to upload it to YouTube. You have to optimize it, make it ready for YouTube, make your thumbnail for YouTube, all of those things. You got to promote it on social media, all of the stuff.
Yes, all together. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of work, and we really appreciate it. You do that on your free time, right?
I mean, it's my job time, because I do have a part-time job, but my full-time job is making these videos for YouTube. So, but I mean, I spend a lot of my time doing it. Like all day today, I've been working on different content projects. Like literally, I was finishing the one up, which is why I was running a little bit late, and then I'm doing this interview with you right now. And I got up this morning, we went to the farmer's market, and then came home, and I came into the studio, and I've basically been in the studio all day.
You are now in the process of a new video, I guess?
Actually, what I was working on today was a podcast that I'm doing with my my photographer friend, Zara Ashby. So that's what we were recording and working on. And it's funny because at the beginning of the show, before we started officially recording, we did a quick call so you could do an audio test. Well, I failed to do that on our first attempt to record our podcast. So we had to record twice, which is why I was behind, because the first one I had an error on my end and I didn't capture her audio in the podcast. And mistakes like that happen in production too. I've recorded videos where I didn't get the audio, or where I forgot to hit record on the camera, or I thought I hit record and I actually didn't. So I talked for 10 minutes and I didn't record a second of footage. Mistakes happen.
These things happen, of course. It's real time, and really, it can be very unexpected results sometimes. So, really, I think that I mean, the effort that you put on these videos, it's very rewarding, and the result, anyone can see the quality of your videos. And I would like to understand, how do you think that your channel differentiates from the others outside? Of course, we have the quality content that comes every week from your side, but there are so many channels right now on YouTube that offer the same content. So how do you think that your content differentiates from the others?
I think I have a couple of things going in my favor, and I do want to make clear before I say anything is when I talk about this differentiation, I'm not disparaging any other YouTube in any way, shape, or form. I respect all of the different type of content and YouTubers that are out there. I think what I have going for me is number one, I do really try to focus on teaching a lot of other channels are focused on the gear and the equipment, and highlighting the gear and doing gear reviews. And again, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I've done some of that in my past, but I found that I prefer to make the educational content. And I think that helps differentiate me, because if people want to learn, they know they can come to my channel and they're going to find good educational content. I think I also have a skill of making this stuff, which can be complicated, easy to digest and understand. Different strokes for different folks is a thing that all people say, and I have a particular presentation style that resonates with a lot of people, and helps them learn and understand. So that just me and my personality is a thing that I have going for me, and my passion for it as well. I mean, I genuinely love doing this. Yes, it's my job. Yes, I am trying to, earn my money and my living from it, but I do it because I love it, and I do it because I want to help other people.